boy? It's your boy Diamond Cash, you already know. So first and foremost, what I would like to say is if you haven't seen episode 1 yet, Universal Voices episode 1, I advise you to do that right now, immediately, if you haven't seen episode 1. But first, another thing is, I would like to thank my team, the VP, animator, co-founder of Universal Voices team. And if you want to be featured in Universal Voices, spoken word artists, or do a little poetry, then you can hit us up, email universalvoices27@gmail.com. You can find us on Facebook, on Universal Voices, Instagram at Universal Voices, and Twitter at Voices Universal. So like I said, I'm gonna keep this brief and simple. Enjoy episode 2. You already know, Diamond Cash.
The thing I love most about poetry is that you can take words which have such strict definitions and transform them and twist them and make them mean whatever you want it to mean, make it capture whatever emotions you're trying to capture. And the reason I write poetry is to express myself, whether I be happy, sad, angry, confused, and just get it all out on paper, and sometimes people like it.
What I like about poetry, that's a poem in itself, to tell you the truth, but I just like how I can sit there and express myself in any way possible. I can sit there and act, I can sing, I can dance. I don't do any of those things yet, but you know, it's just a whole big variety and a big field that you can do. Why do I continue to write? Is because this world is changing and people need to be taught, you know, certain things and certain aspects, and just bringing a new scene to the whole world and its whole complex. So that's why I continue to write. It's something that I love to do.
Poetry, absolutely everything. It gives me an opportunity to be the person that I want to be instead of the person that everyone tells me to be. Why do I write poetry? Because it's in my heart. If I don't write poetry, then how the fuck am I supposed to breathe? This is my air.
Poetry is like, the thing that I like about poetry is that you can have many different emotions and they can all be conveyed throughout poetry. You can be feeling any type of way about anything in the world, and poetry is the perfect way to convey it. So it's like, what makes me write poetry is the fact that sometimes it's hard to just, you know, openly talk about how you feel, or openly, you know, put your thoughts out there. So it's best to write it down. And, you know, why not make it rhyme, you know, make it entertaining? You know, I can give you my story and make it something that you'd actually want to sit and listen to from, you know, my own mouth. So why the fuck not? Why not do poetry?
I like poetry because poetry don't judge me, and everything makes me write poetry. Everything.
What's up, world? This is Aaron Glover here on this poetry freestyle that I'm gonna do unwritten. Thanks to Universal Voices for allowing me to share it with y'all. And basically my motivation for writing poetry is that it gives me a release to things that, you know, I otherwise wouldn't be able to get out of me, and it allows me to communicate with people better.
Hi, my name is Elizabeth, and I write poetry because it gives me a voice. I've always been kind of quiet, but when I write things down, they just come to life for me.
What I like about poetry is that your heart on the page. You're able to express everything you need to express. And me as a Christian, I'm able to express my faith, express exactly what I believe in on page, show, try to bring somebody else to Christ.
Well, for me, writing, it's never really been a choice. It's just something that I have to do. I decided when I was 9 years old that I was going to be a writer. People have been trying to convince me to become a lawyer or a teacher, all these practical careers, but what's practical for me is to do what I love, and that's poetry. Every time I wake up in the morning and go to sleep at night, all I think about is writing. Writing about the people I love, writing for the people I love. And without it, I wouldn't be Elizabeth. I wouldn't be the person I am.
What I enjoy writing about anything that deals with uplifting somebody. Whether it's from out of poverty, whether it's out of healthcare, whether it's out of racial issues. I'm talking about uplifting somebody. That's what I enjoy doing.
Poetry, it's the freest form of expression I think we have. Like, anytime I go to a place where there's going to be poetry or poets there, it's like you feel energy. You feel one with the person who's performing. You feel like you are them, and you get to see what they're going through, what they have going on in their life. And I think that opens up the minds of the people who are are seeing or are reading or are witnessing the poetry. I write poetry because it's the best form of self-expression there is. When I write, it's like I'm letting out all of the energy that I have. And when I perform, it's even better because I get to show people what's going on. But poetry is a journey for me. Like, poetry is showing people the journey that I'm going through currently right now in my life. And I'm showing them the mental journey that I'm having and I'm going through right now. That's poetry.
What's going on? This is Laurent Luke, indie recording artist, poet, songwriter. Gotta say shout out to Universal Voices. The main thing that I love about poetry is the fact that you could completely express yourself with no limitations. There's nobody judging you, there's no type of bias, there's no type of routine, and I feel like, you know, the best advice I ever got in terms of expressing myself is to make my writing selfish and my life selfless. So that comes with every pain that I've ever been through. I express it through my art, and I feel like, you know, some people, they go through things and they're not able to express themselves, so it turns into violence. But I feel like for me, being able to pour out what I've been through, my struggles, my life, and being able to put it in art, in terms of putting the words, the most powerful thing in life is words.
There's something I gotta tell you. There's something I gotta tell you. I think I might be crazy. I think I might be crazy. Over you. I mean, I think about you all the time. I miss you before you're even gone. I get on stage at open mics just so I can brag to complete strangers about you. And to be honest, this is kind of scary, because I'm afraid that you're another huge regret just waiting to happen, and I don't have space for any more skeletons in my closet. See, my heart has this horrible habit of calling clumsy hands home, and too many lovers disguised as tornadoes have already torn through it. I can't afford to keep rebuilding, so you're gonna have to give me some type of insurance. Prove to me that you're worth it. Prove to me that this will be different. Prove to me that you're not just another sad love poem waiting to happen. Because I know together, we would be unstoppable. We could conquer the world. All I need is you by my side. And they say what I'm feeling is just chemical reactions in the brain, a mix of serotonin and adrenaline. Well, if that's true, let's get high off the dopamine. Smoke it, snort it, strap a belt tightly around our arms, slap the vein and inject it directly into our souls. Let's get addicted. Go to rehab only to relapse moments later. They may say it's dangerous, but we will call it love. Let's carve our initials onto the pillars of time. They may say it's foolish, but we will call it love. Let's graffiti our names onto the chambers of each other's hearts. They may say it's vandalism, but we will call it love, and love, our love, will make the oceans blush. Make the roses sing, the stars will dance in celebration of us. So take hold of both of my hands, and like a pair of skydivers, let's leap from our plane of safety and free fall through emotions as if loving wasn't dangerous enough already. And on our way down, we can rearrange the heavens, shake the foundations of the earth. We can go back in time, go back to the beginning, run naked through a garden, return to rib and dust. Let us make gods in our image. We can be the spark that ignites the Big Bang, baby. We could be evolutionary, or devolutionary, or revolutionary, or evolutionary, or splevolutionary. And I'm just making up words now, and this poem doesn't even really make any sense. It's like all over the place. There's skydiving and drugs and tornadoes, and I guess what I'm trying to say is I'm in love with you. I am in love with you. Madly in love with you.
1. Your eyes, fine champagne flutes, filled to the rims with resentment, anger, ebony orbs that turn a warm hazel when I stare for too long. 2. Your judgment like the sky, overcast, clouded by bad decisions. You are driven off your path by the fork in the road, the anarchy of soul that divides you from me. 3. Your hands, calloused by days of hard work and nights with no rest, big but bloody and broken with fights that are not your fights that become your fights, when you are reminded of the world you hate and the color that made you hate it. 4. You must have a gold medal because you're a pro at running from yourself. The truth that creeps upon you like a thief in the night to pilfer your peace or tighten a noose round your neck as you sleep. I try to chase off the darkness and the dark circles from your face while holding you beside me. 5. You are black, no matter how much you despise it. The culture, it is written in the gentle waves of your coarse hair, the proud swagger of your manly gait, the lines of cynicism etched into your face, and the broad shoulders that carry the struggle of our kind. 6. Dating only Hispanic girls will not make you any less black. Next, 7. Now that we're done with that, I should inform you that I am not inarticulate. Your presence just tends to render me unable to form a sentence. Though the dialect in which I prefer to communicate is not verbal, it does involve a decent amount of tongue. 8. Nothing would do my soul more delight than to kiss the street war scars from that lovely dark skin of yours. 9. Despite what you think, you would not look better with light skin. And 10. If you let me, I will show you the love of a real black woman. You will come to see why Mark Antony traded Rome for Cleopatra. The heart of a black woman is strong as a solitaire diamond, yet as delicate as silk. Like the goddess Isis who searched the world to keep her man together, once you're mine, I swear to never let you fall apart, and to love you with every beat of my big black heart. Thank you.
Writer's block. It's as heavy as the heavens and a big enough problem to cause a drought at the bottom of the Niagara Falls. And I fall into a hole, I lose my hold of my sanity. Don't pray for me, you can't save me, and neither can he or she. The problem just might be writer's block. Worse than the blocking of the cock. That one arc offender doesn't know when to stop. You never write them along, but up you always pop. Stealing your popcorn and bombing your photos. There he goes again. Writer's block. I try so hard to stay away from you. It's unusual how I usually get stuck with you, and truthfully I don't even fuck with you. Go get hit by a truck, would you? Or do the spirit room sick to make your butt tickle. Writer's block. You got people thinking my talent was a gimmick. Like, maybe I'm not putting enough in it. Maybe I should switch the style up. Maybe I should switch the style up. Get a haircut, put a part in it. Nah, fuck that, cause I'm harder than a writer's block. Got me crazy enough to fight a cop. Hit him with some body shot to make that nigga lollipop. Have him down the block, going back up in the shocks, going back to my hood, see what's good to get popped. Writer's block. Now my name is Supa Awsum, but y'all already knew that. And now I'm not a thug, so he could come get his shoes back. And I'm sorry for the hostility, it's just that when you're around me, I don't feel like me, feel me, B? So just do yourself a favor and get away from me. Writer's block. Thank you.
God is waiting for me, cause mama fronted my bill to heaven. The price was getting high, so she rushed but left me this message. Baby, don't cry, I'm beside you here, take this weapon. I packed it with a prayer, pulled the trigger, aim for the heavens. And fuck your past, it's not your fault. You needed wisdom to feel that head in. Look, I'm sorry you smoke so much weed, but I still dream of you close to me. Sobriety was cold to me, you grew up and over me. The feeling wouldn't let go of me, I took those hits for the both of us. I remember the day your daddy died, sadness blanketed over me. Sung me a lullaby and rocked me till I was cold to sleep. I died from your pain, for your brother was so hard to see. But I had to go so he can find you, a younger, better, faster, stronger me. And take care of your brother on his tongue, boy, got the sweetest taste of street. And he's been looking for a forehead, never thought yours be hard to see. And I wish I could tell you I love you and you could respond, you remember. Just know it was no second guessing, 88 early September, before it hit winter. And instead of the snow drying up, it splintered. And I'm sorry for your pain and I'm sorry for your hurting. But watch out for daddy number 2, he always left in the morning. And when you're 22, he'll smoke with you and not cry every moment. Just each toke, count to 5, keep breathing in while you hold it. He'll teach you to put your trust in no man, to that lesson and mold it. Don't take it to heart, hold your head and walk through it. A dog is a dog, no matter the gate, he'll bark through it. And I've always had your heart, but I'm grateful to the woman that holds it. Cause even when you think she doesn't, she loves you dear. And I wish I could control it, but I wasn't close enough to stare. She always brought you on time and worked wonders with that pretty hair. I just told her to make sure she took good care and dropped my head so no one else could see my fear. But it was my own future that I had to fear. Just know it's hard to get through to you when communication is hardly clear. And it's even harder to listen when the receiver is missing. But you're a child of mine with too much pride to stop and share. The inner workings of your leaky hearts and repairs were never there. And you look like me, and her memory and the picture's never been so clear. You finally see what you look like after you wiped all your tears. You finally tasted victory after you ate all your fears. You finally heard the truth after you and Cyrus had all those beers. You found out I wasn't perfect and it flooded your eyes. You found out you wasn't made for perfect and stopped asking God why. That's a lot to take in. Bear with her insides. She's still trying to digest. You pulled yourself off the nipple, now you question her breasts. It's my fault.
I want to know what causes children to be molded. Linking choices and the separation between good and bad. You see, they say it takes a village to build a man, so what happens to that boy if that village is destroyed, taken and dismantled, shot down and canceled, burned down and maimed until all the children are left, orphaned, to a world already claimed? We're gonna see what happens. These children are lost to the gutters of the street. Taught how to roll dice, how niggas gotta bleed. They learn street smart to get for gab, and only butterflies known that knives used to stab. Inhale, exhale, puff, puff, pass, rotation. Gang violence, an ignorant form of unification. And with all the churches, politicians, gang awareness, and community outreach programs, still nothing in this collective life is changing. Certain children rise up, they use the hood to their benefits. They sell out the future and make them even more ignorant. Hip-hop, they call it a culture. Why? Because they cultivated and eliminated young minds, leaving their futures blind, stealing decades of time, sabotaging innocence. That's the true crime, thinking life is a game. Playing Russian roulette with 5 bullets in the chamber. Now 5 young minds are dead and undefined, while one is left alive, rapping and dancing the current event posted in the New York Times distorted dimension. Within a distorted world, linking distorted crime, shaping distorted parents, which equals distorted minds. Intelligence is lost among the kingdom of these fallen youth. Sex, money, and drugs on futile rule in the empire of fools. Governmental tools, diluted schools, swimming in a broken community of toxic pools. Maybe hope is an answer within that chosen few. That revelation that comes to distort temptation and complication to form a new young generation, the beautification, the regeneration, into a bright race full of manifestation. All selfish acts have a purpose to eject in order to move forward with the evolving elect. Be taken and dismantled, shot down and canceled, burned down and maimed until all the children are looking for hope. So I'll rephrase the question. What causes our adults to be molded as they link choices and separate the difference between God and man? The difference is intelligence, perseverance, awareness, hopefulness, and evolution. Thank you.
I know poets who are raped periodically by unprotected pens, producing a bouncing bundle of joyful phrases, sinful thoughts, and political analogies are pieces of painful oak trees, bleeding with red and blue lines, which is a lot more of a tree than a loose leaf. Wait, that was when I started. When I got to know them, I realized that I know poets who are suffocated by their own ink, drowning words such as like and like as. Drowning words such as like and like as, because I realized that a simile is just a metaphor with an explication. They'll show you a match, hoping that you understand that dragons only appear open mics, able to release that steam that's been burning depression in their heart. They'll show you a condom, hoping to protect yourself from AIDS, America's industrial death sentence, meaning money makes your morals go down. But you won't hear that part of their poem. You want to hear their effing BS cursing, their alliteration, that literally listeners loaded with lard in their rhymes, in their prime, wasting time, filling line, just so Lisa can make a little known fact that she was raped by Uncle Sam last night. So maybe you understand, this is not a poem, but a prayer. So as us artists are up here pouring out our pens, please catch every single word. Please catch every single word. Please catch every single word it might apply to you.
This is a countdown. The impending collapse comes to us in time. We can sense it. Sights and sounds seen intuitively on the frowns, in faces, or in fear. Forced smiles. We've got 10 seconds to eradicate the ills that depreciate our society. I've got less than 9 seconds to delineate the cause before the bomb detonates. 8 seconds left replicating the resonations received by deceivers in this make-believe land. In 7 seconds, we'll either wake up or die in our sleep. In 6 seconds, all the shape-ups, all the makeup won't save us from the spiritually destructive beast. In 5 seconds, they will be done shearing and begin slaughtering the sheep. We can press the snooze button, but at some point we gotta wake up. Have we much to lose, or is this all a setup? Set up in accumulating an acceptance of enumerating the specific value of material things, investments and income that this or that commodity brings, social constructs, constructing self-feeding apparatuses, reconstructing only when it benefits production, instructions handed down by men who call themselves God. Don't we find it odd that we can't think? Now here we are, sitting on the brink of destruction. Ethical corruption by rationality and rules outlandish, transformed to be compatible with whatever lack of morals or principles we've become adapted to. Now there are 4 seconds left. Time waits for no man waits for time. Bereft of our faculty to decide what matters in life, no contest. 3 seconds now to briefly reflect, tears in our eyes as we stare to the west. The sun sets in 2 seconds. Is it too late to gather our weapons? Well, that moment has passed and is passing, for time holds no discretions. No confessions can save us from Lucifer's lessons. So pay attention, we've only got 1 second, but the tide can still be reversed, cause in this final second is infinite moments, indivisible, infinite death, infinite birth. In this second we can nurse our future. In this final second we can tame the beast. In this second we can immerse ourselves in love. In this second we can change course and force the sails to point toward the rising sun. In this second all that there ever is and all that there ever was can be done. Armageddon aims at celebration. In the right we see wrong, in the wrong there's obligation. In this second we can avoid dystopia. In this second we can grasp the good fight through the myopia. We've only got 1 second to halt the devil's ascension to earth, to stop with the fucking bullshit and mass-produced pretending. We've only got 1 second. How will you spend it?
I wonder if it ever changes in the hearts and souls of many, mentioning greed and fame, thinking they're the dinner ticket, thinking that they're the plate, thinking that they're on a plane that they could ever speak to. But it seems different to speak to you when it's all that's on your mind. All that's on your mind seems to be time and how it's misplaced, how it's misspoken and mistaken for granted. I don't know how to change it. I don't know how to explain it. I don't know how to rearrange it, and I don't know how to maintain what they call something that's fact. I see it as fiction. I see it as something that's whack. I see it with addiction that doesn't have a heart inside of it. That's why they pissed at me, because I speak with pride and spit every time I spit with a fire and fury they can't match a master or maturate faster than me with this. That's why they angry. They leave me with no choice but to spit hard as I want to, hard as I can, hard as I flaunt to show them I am a man beyond recognition, a man beyond standing that they can keep up with. That's why they mad at me, but they stay trying to keep up with things that I do, things that I've seen, things that I've done, things that I've seen, themes that are violent, themes that are violent. Every time they speak on a song or rhyming, it's always sickening. That's why I always have my heart quickening, my brain quickening, my pace quickening until it breaks, until it tears, until it strains, until it's pain, until it's written like rain, fire dropping down from the skies with fire, lightning, brimstone, and change. Because that's what I hope for. That's what I hope to maintain in the positive direction that I go in. And if it's something that doesn't happen when I die, at least I could show them that I tried. I tried with pride. I tried with a heart. I tried with a heart that cried. I tried with a heart that wouldn't die. I tried with a heart that wouldn't try to quit, even though my brain, body, and soul did. I don't know how to console it. I don't know how to control it. I don't know how to change. I've tried and I can't. I can't. I feel sick of this sometimes, and then I pant, calm down, and realize I gotta keep writing real life instead of fiction that they paint on a picture that can't be described. It seems violent, it seems sick, but it ain't shit to me. It seems violent, it seems sick, but it's the same shit you see every day on TV screens, every day on blocks, every day on streets, every day with Glocks, every day with raids, every day with cops, like they're roaches sprayed with a can of Raid. Maybe this will stop. The violence and the BS that I see in every day. The violence and the treason that I see in every way. Treasonous to society, treasonous to the trees, treasonous to nature, treasonous to everything except deceit. I don't know why they accept deceit. Maybe it's because they've accepted defeat. But it's nothing like me to step with my feet and show them my soul every time that I speak. And every rhyme that I say it on will be something that's unique. And every rhyme that I say it on will be something that's complete until the next time I rhyme again. This is why I compete.
I just want to fuck you.
Whoa.
Rip off your clothes and dive deep into your body like a pool of seduction. Suction in my mouth around your pretty brown pearl-shaped nipples, making you moan so loud that you can shake, crack, and shatter glass. Shake, crack, and shatter glass. In the midst of all of this, I'm itching my hand down the side of your hip so I can cuff and jiggle your ass. I don't want no late night romance. I don't want to walk across the beach holding hands. I don't want phone calls late at night saying, I was just thinking about you so I decided to call. I don't want any of that emotional shit at all. All I want is physical fixation with lack of complication. A nut. A nut. All I want is fixation with lack of complication. A nut. I wanna fuck you so good that the neighbors is banging on the door saying, no, she can't take it no more. I wanna fuck you so good that your daddy gets mad because he was never capable of fucking your mother quite like I'm fucking you. I wanna fuck you so good that the cops come to your door and say, I don't think so. I wanna fuck you so good that you forget who you are because you're so fixated on screaming my name. I wanna fuck you so good that you don't breathe no more because I have your lungs in my soul. I wanna fuck you so good that you don't no longer feel whole. I wanna fuck you so good that your spine jumps out your body and books it for the front door. I just want to fuck you. I don't want no late night romance. I don't want to walk across the beach holding hands. I don't want phone calls late at night saying, I was just thinking about you so I decided to call. I don't want any of that emotional shit at all. All I want is physical fixation with lack of complication. A nut. All I want is physical fixation with lack of complication. A nut. So when you're quaking and shaking and your spine starts to quake and you're talking to your knees and you don't know how much more you can take and you're moving and you're grooving and you're gyrating and you say, oh, I think I love you. I say, whoa, little mama. I'm sorry, but I just want to fuck you.
Well, can I give y'all some soul food? Well, young men equal kings and women equal queens, but see, this woman should call each other bitches and men should call each other niggas, which means their mindset is still in prison by slavery and bodily stigmas. And I wonder if the girl that grew up with a mother as a stripper, though she don't gotta dress half naked to get attention, but you could dress subtle. But the only queen she knows is the borough, which means she was raised by the streets. And it's sad when I see women that gave them a good men try to heal wounds from their broken heart through alcohol bottles. Sweetheart, you're pretty as ever, but still insecure. And your self-esteem gets rolling through every Instagram like until the follow. I'm like supermodel or super fake, super gay or super straight. See, we all came from the same God and every man's created equal. And as even as it may seem, we all against the same odds. I got no reason to hate. I really got no reason to hate, I'm blessed. See, hate is the opposite of love. Faith, the parallel of trust. Fame is what some kill for, but is it really worth it? To be a household name on earth, but in heaven's eyes you feel no purpose. Dear God, I'm hurting. They say pain lasts for so long, but joy comes in the morning. But there's no pharmaceutical drug that can heal my spiritual pain, so maybe that's the reason that I'm nauseous. I'm sick to my stomach seeing the things I've seen. Well, some said I was out of my mind dreaming the things I dreamed, like believing in a world where degree doesn't define my intelligence. And politics is just lies, and the Bible could be my president. And everything that I represent would be the precedent of a constitution that says all men are created equal, and that would define better men. And those better men will raise better daughters, and those better daughters will raise better sons. So God, I'm praying for every son and daughter who's fatherless, because even though it's not easy, as hard as it gets, there's hatred. So I'm asking you to build love, because in a society where selflessness overrides selflessness, build love. In a society where lust is a drug and many don't even know they addicts, build love. See, I'm just a young man saved by grace. If anyone hear me, help me tear down hate and build love. I said, I'm just a young man saved by grace. If anyone hear me, help me tear down hate and build love. God bless America. Thank you.